Team Rocket, Evolutions, Mega Evolutions. You've been hearing those words tossed around in the PokeTuber ecosystem, but what about little old Unova and the incoming black and white set? Yo, 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 my name is Changief, and I'm a nobody. But hey, I'm not letting that stop me from making content that I find interesting. Recently, I got back into Pokemon collecting. It was about 5 months ago, and it's been a wild ride seeing like the just crazy upswing in the market right now. Now, in this market, everyone's looking for the next play, the next hype card, what's the next thing they can look forward to and stuff like that. Like, evolutions, they're just exploding. The Team Rocket set is actually going to create Team Rocket members out of some people here.
It was Tuesday.
And people have been slowly charging their chi to go over 9,000 in preparation for the Mega Evolutions set that's coming. But I personally have yet to see anyone really talk about the Unova Pokemon that might be affected once we get closer to the release of Black Bolt and White Flare. So I think I'm gonna just talk about my thoughts on that and what cards, I'm looking at. Now, just to get it out there, this is Omega levels of speculation, wishful thinking, and pure stupidity. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. Just watch and eat your favorite donut. Pasta cream is my favorite. Change my mind. All right, here we go. Stoutland, Cosmic Eclipse. If you are a dog lover or own any dogs, you know the situation that Sharon's in right now. Very adorable scene card. Sharon's like one of the top 5 voted trainers. And I personally think any sort of card that relates to a beloved animal or pet does pretty well. Also, fun note, he has an ability called Arf Arf Bark. So, super cute. Not that it matters. Now, the price is $3 to $4 right now. As you see with everything, all the prices have gone up. There's some that kind of have stayed stagnant. I'll point those out, but majority of these cards have gone up like 2x or 3x. Superior V, Silver Tempest Trainer Gallery. This card is another great scene card, very reminiscent of, your player character traveling with your starter Pokemon. Out of the 3 starter Pokemon's final evolution, Superior is the top voted out of all 3 and the most popular. This will hit a nostalgia factor for anyone who's played as Rosa or anyone who has chosen Superior or Snivy as their starter. 18 bucks. On the more mid-tier expensive side, Dredagon, Silver Tempest Trainer Gallery. I believe this is either the Ace Trainer or a Stat. I mean, they reuse like the NPCs or trainers a lot, but I think this is an Ace Trainer. And she's reading a newspaper next to a sleeping Dredagon. And there's something to be said about sleeping Pokemon. There are so many little collection niches here. Like, I have a collection of Pokemon eating berries. I have a food Pokemon collection, or Pokemon having to do with food. And I'm probably going to start a collection of sleeping Pokemon now. So you can find niches everywhere. This card, I remember it started sub $1 and now it's moved on to $2 to $3. Chandelure, Lost Origins Trainer Gallery. Chandelure, I think from some of the sources I checked, Chandelure was the top voted Pokemon of Black and White. Of the new Black and White Pokemon. Chandelure is here lighting Shantai's way in her searching for books. Seems like a very dangerous thing to be around flammable objects, but, maybe this card has the risk factor that everyone needs. I don't know how much Shantai is loved, but I know Chandelure is loved, and Ghost Pokemon are always loved in the Pokemon genre. And plus, it's sub like $2 right now. It was like a $1 card before, so this card really hasn't moved. It has moved a lot right here, but it went from what, 60 cents to $1.40, so times 2, but still like a minuscule amount. Coughing, Cosmic Eclipse. Now, this Pokemon is an exception because, well, this card is an exception because it's not a Unova region Pokemon, but Roxy is a Unova region gym leader. Like, I remember her from, I think it was either I don't remember if it was from the first one or the second game, but I remember her going into her little band concert and just hearing her sing or just spell out Pokemon, and I just remember like, this is so cool back in the day. Another thing is that the art style is like very posterized and very, very different art style from like a lot of the art style you see from this era. It's truly in that era like one of the more unique cards. $11. It's definitely gone up by a lot. When I first was looking for this card, it was like around $4 to $8, and there were no postings. But now, all of a sudden, when the price went up, there's like so many postings now. Like everyone seems to have this card now. All right, that's the end of the trainer galleries. We're gonna move on to a little subsect of just not really vintage, but like old cards from Legendary Treasures Radiant Collection. We'll start with Emolga, the Pikachu of Black and White. This is an adorable card, and this is, I think back then, one of the most beautiful, I would call them like full art cards. There's two things about this card. A, this card was like I don't even think sub $10 and shot up to like 20 or so. But another thing is like it's so hard to find copies of this card in near mint, and at this point, like all these Radiant Collection cards, they're just not. Their near mint is maybe light played at best. So if you find these cards and you just want it in your collection, and you find it at a show, it's not a bad thing to have. And it's no more is coming out, and not a lot of people have them anymore. Next is Meloetta EX. Same thing, Radiant Collection. This Pokemon I'm kind of whatever about. It's a really beautiful card with like the music motif and stuff, but I don't really care much for this Pokemon. But it is a Unova pseudo legendary, I think. This card started sub like I believe it was $4 earlier, and a recent card show or the beginning of the month it was $8 cash, and now it has also shot up to be around like 30 or 40. But these whole Radiant Collection, you're gonna see it all match up because there's just not a lot in the world right now. Now this is the one where I've been picking up in the past, like way before this boom. Reshiram Full Art, one of the most beautiful Reshirams I think out there, with the rose kind of sparkling black. You can if anyone has watched Oran High School Host Club,
Kiss, kiss, fall in love.
and this also fits for Valentine's Day, which is coming up. But this card, I remember buying this card for $20, but near mint now it's shooting up to like $70. I don't know if anyone's buying it for this price. Nope, they are buying raw copies for this price now, which is kind of nuts. Because just a few weeks ago they were selling for 40. So I'm happy. I have my position in it. These are beautiful cards. I've pulled one in the past, but I think this will only go up once you get more leaks about Black and White set, and you know they're gonna have a Reshiram and a Zekrom illustration or SIR. All right, next we're gonna move on to the illustration rares. I'm gonna go through these illustration rares pretty quickly because there are tons of these cards from like the Black and White era. I just like to say though, I personally think that Scarlet and Violet illustration rares and Secret illustration rares will go down as the most incredible, artistically soothing, aesthetically pleasing cards for a while. There are very few cards from the old set that can really compare to these cards and this is disregarding all the top hits of like Charizards, like the more popular Pokemon, right? Illustration rares can take even the uncared for, the Pokemon thrown in the ditch, like the Pokemon that you keep in your PC forever or just don't even catch. It can make them beautiful and make people want the card because of how amazing these cards are. Okay, I'm gonna have trouble saying this Pokemon's name. I could never figure it out. Ryunculus. I call them like little germ bears is what I call them. This is a beautiful card of Ryunculus like basking in the sun along with Soleus, I think is what their names. I have a collection of like oceanic and like water Pokemon in the water, around water, and this is like a must-have piece because it's just so beautiful. Now all the illustration rares are firing up in price, so just take a look at the price and see if it's worth it for you to buy it. I don't know if I want to say it's there for investment. For super long-term investments, I think these cards would do great, right? There's a lot out there, but also these are cards that I would want to keep over like any of the old vintage type cards that are just like a small square in the top. Like the EX cards and the Vs, I'll keep a few to just remind me of some like the coolest ones, but I'm not gonna keep a bunch. Illustration rares, it's almost like you have to almost collect them all, right? All right, we're moving quickly. Joltix from Paradox Rift. I like this card, not because of Joltix, because of a corgi butt. I forgot this Pokemon's name, but it's a corgi to me. It's a corgi, a lightning corgi butt. Okay? Buy the butt. That's all I'm gonna say. It's expensive, but I will buy the butt all day. Joltik from Stellar Crown. Just because cool, very loud, it kind of matches up with the Jolteon from Prismatic Evolution. And the thing about the booster boxes that are at risk for reprints is the price is pretty stagnant. It's going up and down. It's shooting up a little bit now, but if you look at like when it released, this card was $10 and it dropped down to $4. And it's moving up to like maybe $8. I think there's a chance of it just going back to where it was and staying there. And if it drops down, it's already kind of at its lows. Maybe it drops down to $4. So you can weigh, you know, make your own decision. See if you can buy it at a convention or a store for cheaper. Go for it. Mincino and Cincino. These are, I would say, scene cards or pair cards. One's messing everything up, and Cincino is cleaning everything up. I would say the art style is like a very like storybook art style. And it's just very adorable. And if you buy one, you need to buy the other. I remember buying these cards for $10 like just a few weeks ago. And I think you can still find deals for around $10, maybe 13 or so. You know what I just noticed? Cincino didn't even clean this up. You see Skitty and Meryl helping cleaning up. Cincino, you didn't do anything. What the heck? Moving faster, Braviary, a cool card. If we get I forgot the name, but the vulture Pokemon with the egg. If we get an illustration rare of that Pokemon, I think this one will go up because in my eyes, they were kind of like the pair birds because one was in black and one was in white. All right, Mian Xiao, cool martial artist Pokemon, very vibey kind of watercolory vibes. Stunfisk, this is a funny Pokemon. When this Pokemon was released, it was like a joke Pokemon. So you know, if you're collecting a realistic set, there we go. Card is under $5. Crustle, you know, the crab Pokemon. Not that popular, but a really cool art. Garbodor. I would buy this card mainly because it's just a funny concept of just this is a trash Pokemon in more ways than one. It's a trash Pokemon, but I just think this card is very like this card reminds me of like Adventure Time art, and I just love all the colors and all the little things here. And it's showing that with like $18 right now. Extra Drill, one of the many working class Pokemon cards, I guess you call them. You see them working. You'll see a lot of these working Pokemon as we go on. For under $5, that's near mint. Yeah, around $5. Timber, another working one. Timber, moving Timber. Oh my god. I get it. Timber, Girdier. He's moving Girder. Yeah, I get the joke. I wouldn't say Timber's like one of the most sought after, but it's always cool to see these like scene type Pokemon cards. It's also $5. Gothorita, I believe she's just chilling at I believe a clothing store with a lot of like her aesthetic and designs. I personally don't think this is a really popular Pokemon, but I'm also not into super like gothic stuff. It is still a cool like scene card, and because of this Pokemon having 3 evolutions, there's a chance of, you know, one of their evolutions getting an IR, and if they get an IR, I think these cards will go up. $10. I wouldn't pay that much for this card, to be honest, because I personally don't like it as much. Ferrothorn. I hate this Pokemon. I see it in competitive, and it's so defensive, and I hate it. It's a cool art though. Kaleido from Crown Zenith. This is just a beautiful card of a pseudo. I think it's like a legendary Pokemon where Kaleido helped you with the 3 other legendary horses, I believe. Virizion, Terrakion, and Cold Bylon, I believe. It's just a beautiful like multi-rainbow Aureus Borealis, I guess. All right, we move on to the alternate arts. Another working card. We have Golurk V from Evolving Skies. A bit more on the pricier side, $20, but it's just Golurk. Golurk is a ghost Pokemon, and a few other Pokemons here and there, Swablu. It's just helping build with Timber. This art is just... it reminds me of like old parchment, like old storybook art. All right, we have Techno Sect or Breakdancing Genesect V alt art Fusion Strike. I'm just gonna say this: any card, in my personal opinion, that has a Pokemon that's not doing the usual, oh, I'm looking cute, or I'm roaring, I'm doing an attack, or I'm sleeping, just doing normal animals type stuff. Any Pokemon card that's like doing strange things, or, you know, dancing, singing, or doing something interesting, I think sticks out above the rest, and has a chance of gaining nicknames. When a card gains a nickname, that's a pretty good sign about this card. I believe I bought one at a show that's super off-centered for like 25, but I just wanted it for a binder. Durant EX. This is one of the newer cards. What's interesting about this card is this card makes people want to buy multiple copies because they match up with each other. You can put one after the other and they'll just follow each other through. So, you know, I'm pretty sure there are a ton of collectors whose goal is to create at least 3 of them in one row, if not more. Imagine if you had a whole binder and so your bottom row is all the Durants going in a line. That would be goals. Maybe I just buy a bunch of Japanese ones for this. Vanillish. I personally love food cards. I hate the Pokemon. Well, I used to hate these like Pokemon that are like dumb looking. As I've gotten older, I've cared less, and I love the Pokemon that I can troll my friends with. But Vanillish, I think it's the middle evolution of the ice cream Pokemon. This art is great. This is what reminds me of Animal Crossing. It reminds me of like very, not lo-fi, but like anime core or cute core type like music vibes, album art from it. And there's so much going on, like the different ice cream cone. There's a Pokeball ice cream. I love the cards that's like simple, but also complex with so many things around it. Now we're going for the cards that I'm reaching so far up the back of my brain. I'm going to a different universe to pull out speculations, predictions, and just stretch them out and ring them out for you guys. And if this succeeds, man, I'm going to say I told you so. If it doesn't succeed, I'm just going to say I was crazy. These cards have a chance of going up depending on what cards receive illustration rares or SIRs in the new set. Larvesta, besides the cute card that is of Pokemon sleeping, another one for the sleeping Pokemon. Larvesta is the pre-evolution of Volcarona. We don't have a Volcarona illustration rare. We have the Iron Moth and we have the one on the land, the Savage one. We have those two. We don't have Volcarona. Volcarona is also like one of the top voted Pokemon as well. It was like a pseudo legendary. You had to go underground to like capture it. I think it was in like some sort of sand temple, if I remember correctly. So if they come out with a Volcarona IR or SIR, people will want the full evolution in your set. I think this card will go up. Next, Blitzel. Blitzel is a pre-evolution to Zebstrika. Zebstrika? I don't know if Zebstrika will get an IR for themselves, but Alessa is one of the top trainers or gym leaders from Black and White, and Black and White 2. She's in both the games. And her main Pokemon was Zabreska. If there's either like a pair card with her and Zabreska or another Zabreska card, I can totally see this carrying up Blitzel. Simisear V-Star, Crown Zenith. First off, okay, I hate the monkey. I hate Simisear. I hate Simi Scald or Simi Water. I hate Simi Broccoli. I hate all of them. They look dumb. But this art's pretty cool. Cute and derpy. I like it. But there's a chance, even though it's 2 sets apart, there's a slight chance they might do the same version for the other 2 elements. You know, the Simi Poor and Simi Broccoli. If they do versions of this exact art, this card's gonna go up, just like how we had Squirtle and Bulbasaur come out for Stellar Crown, and then the Charmander exploded from Obsidian Flames. So there's that. It probably won't happen because this is a V-Star and they can't really jump back to V-Star, but you never know. You never know. All right, move on to the 2 King Gambit illustration rare cards we have. One is from Scarlet Violet base, and the other one is from the Shrouded Fable promo card. Now, King Gambit released during Scarlet and Violet. Didn't release during Black and White. But it is a direct evolution of Pawniard and Bisharp. So if they get an illustration rare, I think people would like to keep like a whole set of evolutions, and these are included with the theme. I can already imagine like a battle scene with action shots with B-Sharp fighting maybe a shiny one, or you know, like how the Scizor had one where they had the samurai slash, and relatively cheap. Even though the promo shot up like crazy and has a chance of going down, it's still relatively cheap. Like, I'm not gonna frown at $1 loss. All right, the next few of the cards are basically the altered Hisuian or Rogue future or past versions of cards that I think could get a rise from if the relative Pokemon get released as an IR in Black and White. Iron Jugulis if Hydreigon makes an appearance. Hisuian Samurott, both cards. They're probably gonna have storyline IRs for each of the starters. I can totally see these two cards going up after that. And just a side note, Emboar needs some love, definitely in the new Black and White set. Just because there's been nothing really major with Emboar at all. The only cool one I can find, and I have this card, is the one where it goes from, you know, the same as the Ralts, Carillion, Gardevoir scene card from base set. We have one with, you know, with the family, and then the family grows as he evolves, and then it grows even bigger. Hisuian Zoroark, if Zoroark gets another IR, this card I think will go up. Almost like a Black and White mix, to be honest. Also relating to Volcarona, you know, if Volcarona gets an IR, I think Slitherwing and Iron Moth might see a rise, because if you have all three of them together, you know, past, future, present, you know. All right, now we move on to the honorable mentions. You know, I'm not sure about these cards, but they have potential. Hydreigon EX. If there's a Hydreigon IR, this might go up. This might go up or down. The thing is, Surging Sparks, and it's going on like a downwards trend. It is one of the cooler like EX full arts, but it's like it's going through like a plummet and then like a slow decline. So who knows if it will get lower. And then we have Garvantula EX. This one's kind of like, if you look at the long run, it went down and it's just staying stagnant. Since we already have a Joltix and a Garvantula IR or SIR, I just don't see them making more of these Pokemon. But if you wanted to make like a whole collection of Unova specific IRs and SIRs, then, you know, this is one of the cards that you need. Crocodile. This is related to the Sandile. I think Crocodile might get an IR because it has nothing. Crocodile literally has nothing of note. It has just like a regular shiny and a bunch of like little like promo or just basic cards. This is the coolest card, is the EX promo, and there's so few out on the market, and most of it's like damaged, heavily played, or lightly played. So if you can find these, this is a pretty cool card, but I think an IR is coming for sure. And if an IR is coming, that means Sandile might see a rise. This is a cool card, a bit simple, but still a cool, like, realistic close-up version of the card. It's different. All right, Snivy. The only cool Snivy card I could find was Snivy and Venusaur. And these cards have already kind of seen the pump going up. And not only that, I just don't think any of the art's really that amazing, in my opinion. All right, we're going to do a short sprint on the trainers. Unless it's a card that I might, like, buy a bit more of. But there really isn't much movement in trainers, because I think trainers aren't as popular, but they do see rises here and there, right? And I think unless it's still under being $5 and being a gym leader that's been in 1 and 2, I think this is a pretty good buy right now, especially because it's Fusion Strike, and Fusion Strike recently shot up, you know. Skyla is another one that I believe was pretty popular in Black and White. I think she's already been shooting up like crazy. Maybe this full art, but I mean, I'm not a huge Skyla fan, but if people are interested, she's there. Of course, any of the end cards have gone crazy. Any of the Reshiram and Zekrom cards have already gone crazy. These are probably the cards that I wouldn't look into getting for now, just because they've all gone crazy in price because of Journey Together. Zekrom as well. Zekrom was a bit slower, but it's now catching up. So I kind of feel like I missed a chance for Zekrom. Zekrom also doesn't have as much cards compared to Reshiram. Zora, this card is super cute from Shroud of Fable, another sleeping Pokemon. The problem is it's already like shot up. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But there has been a ton of sales, and it started from really low. I think it was like a $10 card, going up to like 16, 18, 19, 20. But I think it's already been pumped up because of Journey Together. And Deerling and Sawsbuck. These two are connecting scene cards, and they are just beautiful. But these two have been pumped for sure. They've been pumped up by, you know, people buying a lot of, and it's just cool cards to have. I don't think these, because the IRs here are already incredible. I don't think they'll make any new IRs, even if it's of its different forms. But yeah, that's about it. Now a lot of these cards are the market is volatile right now, so this is just to let you guys know what cards from Unova regions are out there, and just kind of like give you my thoughts on how give you my pea-brain, minimal experience, dumb thoughts about where I see the market kind of going. And just to preface, I don't have any experience in this. I'm just doing it as speculation, big super brain, too dumb speculations on stuff like this. Maybe none of this happens. Maybe the new set's not even black and white. Doesn't matter. This is kind of fun, just kind of doing it, and I'm mainly doing this to practice the YouTube content space. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's cards that you think I missed. But yeah, where my Unova fans at? All right, bye.